Drop the knife. Get on the ground. That's the tense voice of a Baltimore officer, speaking to 70-year-old Pytorcarcha Clark-Brooks, moments before everything spirals. June 25th, 2025. Mosher Street, West Baltimore. A welfare check call, months in the making, leads to a standoff at her front door. Officers had knocked. She locked her back door. They spoke for nearly 30 minutes, trying to coax her out. Then, glass breaks. Commands cut through the hallway. Bodycam footage shows her swinging a knife, advancing past officers. A taser drops. Ineffective. One officer falls. Another fires 2 shots. Clark-Brooks collapses, shot multiple times, and later dies at the hospital. She was 70 years old. No one attacked her. No gun was fired. Just a woman in crisis, met with force she, or anyone, should never face. This footage raises urgent questions. When does de-escalation end and deadly force begin? For months, neighbors on Mosher Street in West Baltimore had voiced concerns. They described Pytorcarcha Clark-Brooks as confused, paranoid, and increasingly unstable. She had lived on the block for years, but by summer 2025, her mental health had sharply declined. There were at least 20 prior calls to 911 for mental health welfare checks at her home. Officers had been there before. So had crisis teams. But this time, on the morning of June 25th, the tone was more urgent. Just after 9:30 a.m., someone called 911 and reported she had made threats and was seen holding a knife. She was allegedly yelling about neighbors harming her and claimed she needed to defend herself. Baltimore police dispatched multiple officers, including one trained in crisis intervention. For nearly 30 minutes, they tried to reason with her through a door. Calm, measured, deliberate. "We're not here to hurt you. We want to talk." Clark-Brooks refused to come out. Eventually, she opened the rear door with a knife in her hand. That's when the calm ended, and the cameras started rolling. Bodycam footage begins at the rear door of a brick row home on Mosher Street. Officers are calm but firm.
We just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, we just want to make sure you're okay. Huh? I can't hear you through this door, babe.
There's no response. Seconds later, a window shatters. Clark-Brooks has allegedly broken it herself. Inside, officers spot her holding a knife.
Hold the air 27 Alright, over. I'm going hot with a taser. Drop it! Drop it! Him! Drop it! Get on the ground! Drop it! Drop him!
She refuses. Then, she steps out, knife raised.
Stop the knife! Drop the knife! Come on, man. Drop the knife!
An officer deploys a taser. It hits, but doesn't stop her. She lunges forward. The hallway narrows.
Get down! Come on!
One officer stumbles backward and falls. Another officer fires 2 rounds, close range.
Get down! Yep. Come on. Yep, I'm good. I'm covering her.
Clark-Brooks collapses near the threshold. The knife drops beside her. Officers rush in. They start CPR within seconds. "Stay with me. EMS is on the way." Despite their efforts, she's pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after. No officers were seriously injured, but the footage captures everything. The panic, the decisions, the moment a standoff became a fatal shooting. And the woman at the center? Older than all of the officers in the room. In the hours after the shooting, Baltimore police confirmed that Pytorcarcha Clark-Brooks, age 70, had died after being shot by an officer during a mental health call. The officer who fired the fatal shots was placed on administrative leave, as per department protocol. The Baltimore Police Department's Special Investigations Response Team immediately launched an internal probe, alongside a review by the state's attorney's office. Police released bodycam footage within 5 days, under growing public pressure for transparency. In a media briefing, Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley defended the officer's actions, stating, "They tried de-escalation, they used less lethal force. She posed an imminent threat to the officer who fell." Still, the community response was swift and emotional. Civil rights leaders and mental health advocates questioned how a 70-year-old woman with no firearm could end up dead during a welfare check. The Baltimore NAACP released a statement calling for a full, independent investigation and asked whether alternative responders, like trained mental health professionals, could have changed the outcome. Neighbors described Clark-Brooks as quiet, isolated, and deeply unwell. She was a person, a human who needed help, not bullets, one neighbor told reporters. The legal review is ongoing, but the questions around training, tactics, and trust in law enforcement remain very much alive. Pytorcarcha Clark-Brooks died steps from her own back door. A 70-year-old woman with a knife, facing off against armed police during what should have been a welfare check. The officers used their training. They gave commands, fired a taser, tried to back away. But when she kept moving forward, the decision came down to one officer and 2 gunshots. Her family says she needed mental health care. The police say she posed an imminent threat. And in the middle is a neighborhood that watched years of quiet decline end in gunfire. The investigation is still open. No charges have been filed. But this case has reopened an old and difficult question. How many mental health calls have to end like this before the system changes? For now, the home sits quiet. The knife is in an evidence locker, and the officers involved are waiting for what comes next. Pytorcarcha Clark-Brooks is no longer here to speak, but her death and the footage that captured it will speak for her.